A Jacksonville neurosurgeon is suing Carnival Cruise Lines for using property he says was stolen from his family in Cuba nearly 60 years ago.
In an exclusive interview, this doctor tells Action News Jax Lorena Inkland why now, for the first time, he's able to hold Carnival accountable in a U.S. court.
1920s Santiago de Cuba, the home of La Marítima Parreño, a booming port founded by Javier Garcia Bengochea's family.
Really turned what was a muddy riverbank into a first world enterprise.
But in 1960, armed men barged into the port's offices.
They were stealing the business.
They were Fidel Castro's communist revolution, which led to a nationalization of private businesses, even those owned by Cuban citizens. Families that lost their lands and properties have waited decades for a legal option. On May 2nd, this Jacksonville neurosurgeon got his chance. President Trump fully enacted Title III of the Helms-Burton Act, allowing U.S. and naturalized Cuban nationals to sue companies that exploit seized property on the island. Dr. Garcia alleges Carnival Cruise Lines is one of those companies. This Google map shows a time lapse of Garcia's port. Cruise liners didn't start showing up until 2015, when President Obama began easing relations.
At last count, there are 11 cruise lines trafficking in my stolen property.
But many wonder, what kind of jurisdiction can a U.S. court have in Cuba?
Title III, faithfully, almost to the letter, reflects the intent of international law.
For him, justice is long overdue.
I can't just sit back and see the system not work.
Dr. Garcia only wishes his cousin had lived to see this day.
What do you think he would say today?
He kept waiting for this day, and where he could assert his rights. And I think they'd all be very happy.
Lorena Inkland, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
In a statement, Carnival Cruise Line says, quote, "We sought and received formal approval from the U.S. government, OFAC, under the required rules before we ever began sailing to Cuba in 2016.